Here's another episode of 4-inch 9mm versus Snub Nose 357 Magnum, and today what we have is the Speer gold dot ammunition. The 9mm is a 124 grain plus P gold dot hollow point, and the 357 Magnum is a 125 grain jacketed hollow point. Neither of these loads are considered the short barrel load. However, when we look at the bullets, the gold dot 357 Magnum is sort of a standard gold dot, as where the 9mm does appear to be using a short barreled bullet, even though it's not labeled as short barrel. But we're going to see what we get through the chronograph, what kind of velocity we're getting, what kind of accuracy on paper. Then always through the juggernaut box, which is 1 3/4 inches of bologna with 4 layers of denim on front of that, and behind that 3/8 particle board to simulate bone, ribs, sternum, and then we're going to catch it in the water jugs. Interesting thing about this 9mm load is this is the official load of the NYPD, this exact round, 124 grain plus P gold dot. And another interesting thing about that is that they have 40,000 officers, 25,000 of them use a Glock 19, and another high percentage use another 4-inch Smith & Wesson pistol. So it's safe to say at least 30,000 of their officers use this round in a 4-inch barrel, and this is a 4-inch barrel. So we're going to get exact ballistics of what the NYPD is working with currently. This will be a pretty interesting test, and we'll see how well the 357 Magnum does in comparison to it. So let's get started with the test. Alright, we're about 5 yards from the chronograph. Let's see what we get for the 124 grain plus P gold dot for velocity and accuracy. 1234, 1216, 1197, 1227, and 1202. So pretty good energy and velocity overall. Now let's see how the 357 Magnum compares. Alright, from about 5 yards, 125 grain gold dot, 357 Magnum. Let's see what we get for velocity and accuracy out of the 2-inch barrel. 1260, 1270, 1277, 1261, and 1290. Pretty good velocity, definitely more than the 9mm. However, the recoil is pretty horrendous in this, as where the 9mm it's not bad at all. So let's see what we get through the juggernaut box, what kind of damage it does to the meat, particle board, and see which water jug we catch that bullet in. Because judging by these bullets, they look like a different design. Even though we have similar velocity, it's certainly a different design bullet. So they may behave differently on the ballistic target. So let's see what we get. Alright, 9mm, 124 grain plus P gold dot. Let's see what we get through the bologna packing into water jugs. Big hole in the first jug, I can see it. And here's our impact, and it just took the meat right out of the package. Looks like that's our impact, and our exit is pretty good damage. Let's see what we got in water jugs. Jug 1 is just ripped right open. Looks like we went straight through jug 2. And there's a little bit of dent out the back of jug 3. That's more penetration than we typically see with 9mm. And even though we got more than typical penetration, we also got very good expansion. Very impressive round, especially for how easy it is to shoot. Doesn't shoot like a plus P, doesn't feel like a plus P to me, it feels like a standard pressure. Yet we're getting good penetration, we're getting good expansion. Now let's see how the 357 Magnum compares. Alright, gold dot 357 Magnum through the snubby. Let's see what we get through the bologna and into the water jugs. first jug looks very similar to the 9mm. I can say that right off the bat. And here's the meat target. It's kind of hard to tell from this angle which one really did any better. The other one looks maybe possibly a little bit worse than this one, which might indicate we might have had a little bit more penetration. So let's see what we got in water jugs. Jug 1 looks just like the 9mm first jug. Jug 2 is cracked up here. And there's a hole in jug 3. And there's a hole out the back of jug 3. I don't see any bullets. I don't see anything in jug 4. So there's no bullet in jug 4. No bullet in jug 3. I don't know where that bullet went. That bullet is not in any jug and it's not in the box. There's a little mark on jug 4. I'm thinking maybe the bullet hit the 4th jug on kind of a dense area of the plastic and bounced upward. That's the only thing I can think at the moment. Alright, I pieced that meat back together. I already documented what the initial meat looked like after the impact of the 357 Magnum. So now we're just going to have an attempt to try to catch this projectile, and then we'll have a look at the projectile. So I won't be able to show the meat again because it's already messed up. I'm going to hit in a new area and a new part of the particle board. And I'll try to aim a little bit lower should I catch this slug. Alright, we got a new hole in the particle board, so it's hitting a different spot there. And here's jug 1, a little bit lower impact. Jug 2, right through it. Jug 3, we caught the bullet in jug 3, but there's a very big impact mark on jug 4. And here's the 357 Magnum slug. And from this initial look at the bullet, it looks like it might possibly be bigger than the expansion of the 9mm, or it might be about the same. But we got comparable expansion, almost the same. However, just a little bit more penetration with the 357 Magnum. However, you know, it's hard to shoot it accurately. It's hard to shoot it quickly. So you do get more performance in this particular load with the 357 Magnum, but you certainly have to pay for that performance by accepting that recoil that's going into your hand, because that hurt quite a bit after 5 shots with that particular grip. As with the 9mm, that's nothing for shooting. So overall, I would say it's a very, very good 9mm load. I can see why the NYPD adopted it as their official load. The 357 Magnum load, it's a good load, but it's not a short barrel variation of a load. So, you know, it's got a lot more power than what's really typical for a snub-nosed revolver. It'll work in a pinch, and it worked really well. However, I would say overall your power is a little bit high for that particular revolver, but it's still a good cartridge, and you can see what it would do if you had to use it, if you could land the shots accurately. So that's what you're getting with the Speer 124 grain plus P 9mm versus a 125 grain 357 Magnum. It's about as close as you're going to get in bullet weight, and we had similar performance on the actual bullet. Just a little more penetration with the 357 Magnum, a little bit more power. So that's what you get between the 357 Mag, 9mm, Speer Gold Depth. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.